All right, guys. Today is Thursday, December the 7th, and we are having a date. We're gonna spend, I would think, 45 minutes. I don't know, last time you guys were on fire, so you were giving me a lot of good questions, and we couldn't even fit within the 1 hour. All right, so let's see how it's gonna go. But I think 45 minutes is the timeline we are looking at. And today we have the topic of EB2 NIW in STEM category. All right, and I think if it's not one of my favorite topics to discuss, but definitely top 3 topics. All right, because I do believe EB2 NIW is a great visa to get approval for, especially if you are in STEM, and STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I know you guys, most of you have a higher education, you have experiences, you have good professions, you have good projects. And today, we're going to be discussing how you're going to be able to materialize your past experiences, your educations, your projects, your skills, and everything that you have as a background to get an approval for EB2 NIW in 2024. So this is the topic for today. I will be expecting questions from you, and definitely we're gonna start with the recent approvals in my company. And guys, this week is definitely a star fall with the green cards. We got 5 approvals as of today. 5 approvals, all of them for green cards, all of them for EB1A category. And let me tell you, 2 of them are in business category, 2 of them are in IT, which is a STEM category, and 1 of them is in, let me try to remember, in a beauty industry. Okay, beauty industry. So 5 great approvals. All of them, some of them had a few problems. Let me tell you a short story about one of them, so you guys again understand the craziness of what's going on, of this chaos that's going on in USCIS sometimes. So, and by the way, it's not the beauty, it's an engineer. I'm sorry, it's an engineering. So also STEM category. And that's the case I'm going to tell you about. So what happened? Back in October, we filed EB1A for our engineer, and he's a civil engineer. He is building bridges, and he built a bunch of huge bridges back in Russia. Really good professional, really good contribution in industry, good press, scientific publications, great critical leading role, good salary. I mean, this is just an amazing case. When I was drafting that case, I was like, there is no way in the world that the immigration officer is going to even send us the request for evidence. Okay? I was like 100% confident about his case, and you guys know that for more than 10 years of my work in the American jurisprudence, we never got a single denial for an engineer. Not a single one. And we filed dozens and dozens and dozens of cases. And that speaks volumes. All right? That shows that we know how to do those cases, and we have a great success rate with them. So that was one of those cases, no problem. We filed it. And to my surprise, we got not the RFE, but the NOID, Notice of Intent to Deny. And I was like, what the hell is going on? I mean, it's not like, maybe in the beauty industry, or maybe a business case, sometimes we could get that, or something, something like let's say less important in the eyes of the immigration officer. I can understand, okay? But here is like great engineer, and the Noid is basically was like kind of crazy. They told us we satisfied 4 criteria out of the 7 that we're filing, but they said that we don't see the benefit to the US. Are you crazy? and the benefit not because of his achievement, but because in one of his paragraphs in his letter, he said, I'm considering continuing my education in the US. And the officer was like, well, continuing education is not the benefit to the US. I was like, well, yes, if it's the only thing, but we have a bunch of other things that the guy was gonna do. Okay, so I was like, okay, that looks like just so weird. Let us withdraw and just refile. Okay, because this is just craziness. Nobody wants to deal with this craziness. And we filed the request to withdraw the case, and we just refiled it with a different officer. So long story short, 2 weeks pass, and we receive a letter from the US withdrawing the notice of intent to deny and approving his application. I was like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? I had one case in a career, guys. Actually, a couple of months ago. It was a beauty case. We already refiled the case because it was a crazy RFE, and we got another RFE. And Friday night, we received a notification from USCIS. We got requests for evidence for this particular client. And Monday morning, we received another notification withdrawing request for evidence and approving the petition. Okay, we did not even tell the client that there was an RFE. We just didn't have time to do this because it was the weekend. So I was like, okay, good news. All right, surprise, surprise, it happens, and we got an approval, no problem. So, but here it's not RFE, it's notice of intent to deny. So, in other words, that means that they tell us, guys, we're gonna deny your case unless you're gonna persuade us not to do this. Okay, you're gonna convince us that we're wrong. Okay, and this is very hard to do when they already kind of say, hey, we're gonna deny this. All right, so, and there we go, they withdraw Noid and they approve the case. And it's not the end of the story, guys. 2 days later, they approved the second case that we filed for this client. So now we have 2 approvals for the same client, and we already got 2 letters from NVC on different cases. So both of his cases went through. I mean, this is just crazy. I don't know, because we sent the request to withdraw the original case, they approved it, now they're going to receive the request to withdraw. Now we're sending request to withdraw the original withdrawal. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in this world anymore. Okay, I'm out, guys. Okay, bye. So, good news for the client. He already spent another $3,000 because he had to pay the fee again. Okay, and all this craziness we have to deal with. So, why am I telling you this craziness? What we have to deal with USCIS. So once you guys file the case with my company and something crazy happens, trust my experience and trust my expertise. Don't get, oh my God, you can get that. Okay, that's the emotion sometimes we cannot control. Okay, but we can control the response to the emotional, this emotional thing happening. All right, so trust me, I've seen a lot of things throughout my career, and I have a long career in the immigration field. So I've seen a lot of craziness happening, and I know how to deal with this. But I need one component from you: the trust. Okay. And I mean, guys, if you don't trust your attorney, you just cannot work with this attorney, okay? You just cannot do this because, let's be real, You have to open up, and we have to become the one, like one organism. You, myself, and the team, we have to become one, all right? And without trust, it's impossible. So once you build this trust, keep it going. All right, keep it going and stick to it, because without that, it's going to be hard. All right, so If something crazy, if everything is good, there is no problem. But if something crazy happens, just stick to your guns, trust my recommendations, and remove the emotion. Okay, because this thing is for America is gonna throw you a challenge. America is gonna challenge you guys at some point. Okay, it could be in the beginning, it could be when you come here, it could be a little bit later. You're gonna get challenged. All right. So unless you can withhold and hold strong, you know, things not going to be good for you. All right. Okay. Some motivational speech for you guys. Some motivational things. So looks what some people have to go through to get the approval. So maybe you're gonna get much less than that, but be ready for whatever. All right, let's guys see what you get to ask me. Treasure, hi Stan, hi Treasure. Lovely to see you. Keep the great work going. Thank you very much. Appreciate the kindness and the good words. If I have I-140 approved and we are waiting owing to wait time for 4085. I guess you mean like we have 485 pending. Okay, no problem. Can we apply for EAD and get that immediately and start working even if there is a wait for 485? Treasure, absolutely. Absolutely. Not only we may or we can, we always do this. Even if you tell me, Stanislav, I don't want to work, I don't want to travel, just file for 85, no problem. Okay, I know it's a part of the package, no problem. I'm still gonna file everything. Okay, Treasure. You know why? Because I had that in the past. I had this so many times, like Stanislav, I don't need work permit, and then 2 months later, why I don't have a work permit? Why don't I have social security number? Well, because you told me not to file I-765 and I-131. So it's not me, it's you. Well, of course, it's like there's like something going on. So trust me, you don't have to ask me. I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna do this, and approximately. It's always different, but on average, about 2 months is going to take us to receive the work permit and advance parole. And advance parole is a right to travel, the right to come back to the country while your 485 is pending. Okay, so that's why once we file I-140, you have 2 options, Treasure. 2 options. Option number 1. And I prefer this option if we have time, if the timing is good and we don't have like limitations. I like to get I-140 approved, and yes, we get them 90% or more approved throughout my career. But you know, I'm conservative about this. Let's get I-140 approved and then file I-485 for each member of the family. Okay, why? Just like in this case, okay, this client was not in the US. The one I told you, the civil engineer, who all this craziness with the annoyed and the withdrawals and all this craziness. So, but if he was, imagine, if we filed his case I-140 and 485, and then we had to withdraw his case, that means that he has to pay again all the government fees, not only for I-140 but also for 485, and also he has to pay to the attorney to refile those petitions. Okay, all right. I will not charge. I would not charge him for attorney's fees because the work is done. But the government fee, let's say it's 4 people. Okay, mama, papa, and 2 kids. So $750 for each kid for 485, and one $225 for each adult. So approximately $2,500 for the adults and $1,500 for the kids. So it's $4,000 just the government fee for 485. Okay, so I like to save you money, guys. I don't like to spend your money. I want you to be the whole, not like this and like spending all your money right and left for nothing. So let's get I-140 approved. No problem. Expedited processing, 15 days we can wait. It's not going to kill anyone. Okay, there could be RFE, no problem. Let's see what's happening. Maybe we refile, maybe we answer the RFE. We'll look at it, we analyze, okay? Once we get an approval, let's then file for 85 and be sure that we don't have to have more expenses. Okay, so that's how I like approach. Sometimes the clients say, hey, I don't care, let's file concurrently at the same time. I want it fast. If we have to refile, I'm gonna pay. No problem. If the client realizes and they tell me, sure, because the only reason I do it to save you money, guys. Okay, so that's how I approach it. Okay, Dexpel, thank you, Stanislav, for your amazing work. Hats off to you and your team. Dexpel, thank you very much for your kind words. This is very lovely. Dania, and thank you guys for coming to the streams. You know that these streams are for you. They're not for me. I can go and talk with my team, with my clients, and find something to do. I want to bring you value. You know, I'm ready to make sure that you guys get all the questions answered. Dania, hello, Dania. What if I have approved I-140 via EB2 NIW, but I don't want to, I guess, wait a year and a half? Can I now file EB1A and come to US fast first, I-140 and then 485 as it's current? Okay, the phrasing is a little bit strange, but I think, Dania, I think I know what you mean. I know what you mean. So what you're asking is, you file I-140 in an EB employment-based second category NIW, and you got it approved, but the priority dates are a year and a half of wait. Okay, and you're asking, okay, can you file EB1A and basically just to start the immigration, get it approved, and start the immigration process faster, and maybe file for 85 if you are in the US? And the answer to this question is absolutely. Absolutely. Even if you have EB2 NIW approved, or sometimes it's just EB2, like through the perm labor certification, or EB3, or whatever category that is, and it's not current in the visa bulletin, then sure, if there is a case for EB1A, we can file it and file for 85 with it. And once we get approved, then you get your adjustment status going, and we just disregard your I-140 for EB2 NIW. No problem. Sometimes we even do this. Sometimes I file two cases: EB1A and EB2 NIW. Of course, it's more expensive. It's basically twice as more because those are different cases. There is no correlation between them. So two different teams work on the case, and everything is good. Okay, proud, brave one. Will a recent degree in IT, meaning with no experience, will be enough to start developing an EB2 NIW case? Possibly. Proud, brave one. Possibly. First of all, I need to know if it's a bachelor's or master's. Okay, because if it's a bachelor degree, then we need what? We need 2 years, 5 years of experience in the field, okay, in IT. If it's a master's degree, then yes, we need to look at your degree, we need to look at your publications, we need to look for whatever work experience you had in the past, and we need to look at whatever you propose as your endeavor, okay? I do believe, I'm a big believer that, of course, there are exceptions where someone is super smart and intelligent, and you have some technology or invention, and like degree is just secondary in the case, but you have something really big to propose to the US, and that could be a basis for EB2 NIW. Definitely. And I've seen cases like this. Okay, maybe you're second Elon Musk or something. Maybe like you're a super smart person, and don't get me wrong. That means you're not smart if you don't have that. It just you know, it's the degree of your intelligence and things like that. And I've seen cases like this where people with master's degree, that they have their dissertations or publications, something crazy innovation, and they want to continue. And we had cases approved like that, but the overwhelming majority of EB2 NIW, they're the cases where we have the past experiences, past projects, and past things we've done before that we can translate in the future proposed endeavor. Okay, overwhelming majority. And why? Because remember, proud brave one, that in EB2 NIW has the criterion of well positioned. You have to be well positioned to implement what you're offering to the US government. Okay, so if you have just a degree and you have zero experience, zero projects, nothing, so what can you offer and how you're going to back it up? What you're going to use to show that you're well positioned to implement that? It's just not gonna in the eyes of immigration and I do believe in you guys, you know, I believe in my clients, and because I know you personally, we communicate, we have emotional attachment, but for the immigration officer, you guys just a piece of paper. Okay, and we try our best to, you know, to bring that emotion to the petition. When I draft a memorandum, I bring your like a resume and your experiences and your pictures, and you know, I'm trying to show a person in you also. But he's gonna look in the content of the memorandum, and if he does not see anything that you had in the past to back up your ability to implement your project, what he's gonna do, like we leave him with no choice, basically. Okay, we kind of ask him to deny the petition. So I'm not saying no, but I'm saying it's just very hard to do this. Okay, probably a proud brave one, you'll be better off with a talent visa. Okay, with the talent visa. If you have achievements, if you have awards, if you have publications, if you maybe start working in a good company, start making good money, you have a much better chances of getting O1A or EB1A than EB2 NIW. Okay, with EB2 NIW, give me at least 4 or 5 years experience in something that you've done in the past that you're going to be doing in the future. All right. And by the way, guys, today is a EB2 NIW topic, all right? Why? Ask yourself, why did Congress, and Congress was enacting those laws, okay? Whatever we have, EB2 NIW, EB1A, Congress was the body, the legislative body that enacted those laws. Why did they put exceptional ability in the pre-qualification for EB2 NIW? Ask yourself that. And then ask yourself the following. Why is one of the exceptional ability criteria says 10 years of experience? Why did they put 5 years of experience on top of the bachelor's? Why do they care about your experience at all? And if you think about it, experience in something in your profession, be it 10 years of experience, which basically substitute a part of the advanced degree, the bachelor's and 5 years experience or master's. If they put so much emphasis to 5 years experience for the bachelor's degree, why are they doing this? Well, I guess they're doing this because it matters. Because experience matters for them. So going back to your question, proud brave one, and this is it's a great question if you look deep in this question. And you guys know I like to go deep in those questions. If you look at like more even philosophical part of this question, you will realize that they want to have experience. They want you to have experience. They want you to show the experience, because only experience can definitely prove or closely prove that you will be able to do something similar in the future. Okay, so I guess I broke it down for you really good, proud brave one. Give me smash that like button if you like my answer to your question. Treasure, I agree that in EB2 NIW it should not be a concurrent filing. I-140, 485. Treasure, absolutely. It's not only a matter of belief, but it's or agreeing or not agreeing. We just cannot do this. We cannot file 485 with I-140 because the filing, the date of filing and the final action date, they a long time in the past. they in the past. So there is no basis in the law for us to file I-140 and 485 concurrently for EB2 NIW unless the visa bulletin is current or allows us to do this. Okay, it's just going to be rejected. They're going to just send it back. Okay, and they're going to charge you the fee. They're going to get the government fee they're going to charge, and they're going to deny 485 because it's too early to file it. Okay, so let's say I get I-140 approved. That's the follow-up question. Can I get an EID before I get a priority date for 485? Unfortunately, no, Treasure. Unfortunately, no, because the only basis for you to get EAD, employment authorization, is to file your 485. And your basis in law to file 485 is to have the permission in the law. And we have only two permissions in the law. The one is final action date, if it's your priority date or later, or sometimes the date of filing. That's the second table in the visa bulletin. If USCIS says, okay guys, you can adjust based on date of filing, not the final action date. That's the only two reasons why we would file your 485. And sometimes, Treasure, if your final action date is later than your priority date, you have to check visa bulletin every month for permission from your USCIS to file by this date. And why? Because this month they allow to do this, and next month they don't. So if you miss the month where they allowed to do this, that opportunity is gone. Okay, and of course we're looking at it. We also look, but definitely you need to look as well in case something happens, we miss it or whatever. Of course, when two people are on alert, it's a better chance that we're doing this. All right, so we need to keep an eye on this. Okay, Xiaomi Home. I'm managing artist, singer. He is getting a P1 visa. Okay, can I file with him and get a P1 visa as well as his manager? And I understand that P1 is a dual intent, so that I can travel and do talent green card visa later. Okay, Xiaomi, it's a very good question. So first of all, we do not deal with P1 visas. But it doesn't mean I don't understand them. I understand P1 visas very well, and don't quote me on that. But you cannot get P1 visa as a manager. But you could possibly get a different type of visa in P category. And because I don't do this, I don't know those details, I can tell you that in O1 visa allows to file O2 visa for people like you. Okay, so there's O1A, let's say a singer got O1A, and you can get O2 visa. I couldn't sneeze, guys. Sorry. I hate this feeling, you know, when you're about to sneeze and you cannot, and it goes away. It's that feeling you get, like, ugh. All right. P1, I don't know. I can actually look it up. Not right now, but a little bit later. I'm just curious if P1 allows you to bring assistance. O1 definitely does for certain categories. I believe O1A in sport and O1A, O1B allows to bring the assistance, like a part of the team that cannot be separated. Okay, so I would, in your case, Xiaomi, definitely consider O1 visa for O1B for the singer. And I have a lot of experience with singers and art in general. And O2 for yourself. That we can do if we can prove that you guys you cannot be separated. And usually like a manager of the artist cannot be separated from that person, because you have connections, you know the singer, you have the strengths, you know the weaknesses and everything else, so you guys work as a team. So I would consider that. And O visa is also dual intent visa. So it's not the pure dual intent visa, by the way, but we can switch to the green card later. Okay, we can switch to the green card later, as long as we can prove that you have recognition as a manager of an artist. Okay, it's not simple as it is. Okay, P1 or 1 like dual intent visa. So we once we get it, we can then refile for the green card. No. If we file for the green card, we have to file within certain category, like EB1A, EB1B, EB1C, EB2 NIW, EB2, EB3, something. All right? And for each of those visa, we have criteria that we need to satisfy in order for you to get the approval. So it's a more complex process. Okay. And guys, don't forget to fill out the free evaluation form, okay? Free analysis for your cases for EB2 NIW. And I also will drop the link for talent visas. Xiaomi, you need to fill out the talent visa questionnaire, so I could analyze it, get back to you within 48 hours and give you the analysis what's going on with your case and your singer case. Please guys, don't miss that opportunity. Let's go back to the topic, guys. We've been talking about EB2 NIW, and let's touch on a very important topic of that you guys always ask me the same question, and I understand why you do this, and I'm happy to answer it every time when you get to this question. And your main question is, Stanislav, where do I get my proposed endeavor, my proposed project? If I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, yes, I have a good education, I have years of experience, I've done a lot of projects in my category, in my field. I'm still kind of confused. What can I propose to the US government that will be in the national interest? Okay, so that's, and you ask me it in a different forms and ways, and I understand that, but the bottom line is that, what's my future project? And the answer to this is also very simple, guys, very simple. In order to know what you're going to be doing in the future, what you're going to be proposing to the US government, you need to look in your present and in your past. Okay? And I like this example, guys. When I had this architecture from I believe he was like from Vietnam, not Vietnam, oh my God, from Sweden or Norway, or those Scandinavian countries. And we met at the complex immigration planning, and his specialty, his expertise was in building the buildings in the northern parts of the country. Okay, like, and that takes up a special expertise. Like, you need to know which materials and how you like organize everything with the house and building, how it interacts with the cold. Okay, because if you choose the wrong material or like combinations of materials, like the thing is going to break down and just collapse and kill people. Okay, so like you have to understand really good what's going on with the cold and the materials. So he had like a bunch of big projects built in the northern parts of the country and things like that, like really good case. And he comes to me, and when I ask him like, hey, what's your proposed endeavor? And I mean, I asked him, I had already answers because he answered my questions in writing. And he says, well, Stanislav, my proposed endeavor, I want to do the furniture from plastic, from recyclable plastic. I was like, what the hell is going on here? What? Plastic? Why? did you do it? Like, I started asking, like, did you do it in the past? Like, how did you come up with this? And he's like, well, I was thinking, I was doing research, and I saw that there's a problem with the plastic and the ecology, and I'm an architect, and I can do nice furniture, and I was thinking to do the production, to do this, all this furniture for all these buildings, and it's going to serve a national interest. I was like, well, let's assume it serves the national interest, okay? And I'm not saying it is not, but let's assume it is. How in the world we're gonna prove that you are well positioned to do this? You have not done it in the past. You have no publications on this topic. You have no projects that you help to do this. You don't even have the like business plan how you're gonna do this in the future. So there is nothing I can use to provided that we prove that it has national interest, but I have nothing to work to show that you're well positioned. And on top of that, you have all these like 15 years of experience building like complex buildings and houses in the north. I mean, that's your project. Like, okay, like it's on the surface. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Okay, you have a project, all the experience, all your education, everything you've done in the past to support your future endeavor, like helping, consulting the American developers, engineers, and other architects to deal with the cold and freezing temperatures when they build the buildings. All right, I mean, it's an extreme case. I understand. It's an extreme example. Okay, but you guys know what I'm driving at. I'm trying to show you the concept. Don't try to reinvent something crazy. Just look what you're doing right now. Like what exactly you're doing, what you work on today, what kind of project, and see if what you've been doing all these years and what you're doing today. Do the research if there is any substantial merit to this in the States. In other words, if there is a problem here that you can fix what you've been doing. That's it, guys. That's it. Once you find that, maybe article in the press, maybe policy from the White House, maybe USCIS policy, maybe some professor from the university is talking about it, maybe people in the industry are talking about the problems in the industry, and you have a solution, and it doesn't have to be a unique solution. It's great if it is, okay? But the law is absolutely silent, guys. Absolutely silent in EB2 NIW on uniqueness of your expertise. Not at all. Absolutely not. So don't try to be unique, although we could be unique, but don't try to be unique where you don't have to. All these STEM categories, science, the physicists, mathematician, IT, cybersecurity, blockchain, engineers, technology, innovation, businessmen bringing innovation to the US. All this craziness, all these high qualified people, you don't have to be unique. You just need to be a good professional. You must have experience and translate all your experience in the past to the future proposed project. That's it. This program is not as hard as many attorneys or people trying to picture it. Okay? Yes, it has difficulties, and it's not easy to prepare the evidentiary base, but that's why you have Stanislav and his team. Okay? Once we know that we have everything in theory, then we start working on materializing the theory into documents and proving your case in the future. Okay, so the technical part is on us. Okay, once we know that we have everything necessary and readily available in your case. Okay, I think it was great, guys. The proposed project. By the way, how you guys like the Bitcoin pump? Any of you guys in the cryptocurrency? Tell me, guys, if you guys into cryptocurrency, if you like invest in Bitcoin, in Ethereum, and like great projects like that. I'm excited about the future of cryptocurrencies. I'm a big fan, and I like technical analysis. I'm so excited about Bitcoin's future. It's pumping big right now, and it's so good. Yeah, Treasure says nope. You know, it's never late, guys. I will never tell you to invest in Bitcoin or Ethereum or other cryptocurrencies. I'm not even looking at. Bitcoin and Ethereum are the best too. But I will always tell you, study them. Put the hours to understand the technology behind it. And you guys will be amazed. This is a rabbit hole, and this is the future. Okay, so put your time, and you will. Once you put your time and you understand those topics, you guys will go and buy them. I would not need to tell you and explain why you need to invest in those things. Okay, you will understand yourself. Okay, let's look at the other topics, guys. We're going good. We're actually 43 minutes in, so let's cover one more topic and we'll be done. Let me pick one because we kind of addressed pretty much everything. So let's talk about something that I did not say we're going to discuss, but I think this is a very important thing, and this is recommendation letters. Okay, let's talk about the recommendation letters because you guys always ask me, how many recommendation letters will I need to provide? Who can be the person who recommends me? What is the structure of a recommendation letter? And what needs to be in the recommendation letter? And by the way, guys, same thing applies to the talent visa, the classic talent visa, EB1A or 1, okay? Same thing, absolutely, there's no difference. A little bit different content as opposed to EB2 NIW, but very similar. So for all visas that I mentioned, I need 15 recommendation letters, okay? 15 recommendation letters. And when you say, Stanislav, where do you get this number? Why not 20? Why not 10? Why not 7? And questions like this. And I came up with this number through the years of experience and working with hundreds and hundreds of cases where we were proving a talent and a national interest and things like that. And I came up with this number because this number is necessary to completely address all the issues we have with the petitions. Okay, this amount is necessary, this number is necessary because we can spread the information that we need to put in those letters in order to maximum strength your cases. Okay, so that's why it's 15 letters. Who can be the ones to write your recommendation letter? Well, think of the recommendation letter as an expert opinion letter versus recommendation letter. I call it recommendation letter just because I don't want to mess up with your understanding, guys. But all our recommendation letters that we file with the cases, they basically expert opinion letters to the different extent. Okay, to the different extent. Why? Because the person who writes you a letter, who drafts you the expert opinion letter, that person or organization, because it could be either or both, they must have certain expertise and certain way in the industry to objectively assess your achievements, your recognition, your projects, or your future projects. Okay? So it must be a person with the high qualifications or organization with a high qualification, high reputation. So that's what I need from a person who writes. For example, if you are an IT person, okay, who could write a good recommendation letters? Are the IT specialists, the companies where you worked at, associations where you're a member, engineers who worked with you, designers who worked with you, and everybody else who are a part of the industry, of the projects that you were a part of. Okay? So why? Because they have enough expertise and weight in the industry to assess your achievements, to assess your criteria for talent visa or for EB2 NIW. Okay? And what is the structure of such a letter? And how long should a good recommendation letter be? It must be at least 2-3 pages. Okay? And I know sometimes you guys are like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, I have like half a page, but what's in like 2-3 pages? This is crazy. Well, let me tell you this. A good expert opinion letter, the ones that you guys get through the NEO projects in my company. And you guys, NEO project there's no analog of that, and there's no such a thing in the world besides my corporation, because we can find you a match within the company in up to 4 expert opinion letters that you exchange with other people. So those letters that we get you in a NEO program, they could be like 15 pages. Okay, could be 20 pages, because I have a certain methodology how to draft those letters. So when we're talking about 2-3 pages, this is nothing. Okay, this is nothing. And the structure is as follows. The first part of the letter: who is the person or entity who drafts this recommendation letter? Okay, we need to establish the expertise. The second part, it's small. How do they know you, and how did they get to write this letter? Did you ask them? Did you meet them at the conference? Did you guys work together? Or is it he's just independent expert who's just doing it for your case? Okay, that's what we do in NEO. The expert says, hey, I'm an expert, and he is an expert because he's our client. So he's a talent visa. He has a lot of achievements, as much as you do, maybe even more. You never know. And he says, well, I'm an expert in the field because of I have all these publications, all these conferences, all these critical roles, and I make a lot of money and this and that. And this guy basically approached me and asked me to draft this letter to independently assess his case and his criteria. So that's what I'm doing. Okay? And if it's a person from your side, they say, hey, I worked with Xiaomi, or I worked with Treasure, and I know them, and they ask me to assess, no problem, I'm doing it for them. The third part is basically the most important, where they analyze something. They assess or review something. It could be a criterion. It could be a part of the criterion. It could be your achievements. It could be your projects in the past. It could be your whole case, or you as a professional overall. Okay? Because each letter has its own purpose. Okay? We don't have just a general recommendation letter. No, it's a waste. Okay? It should serve a specific purpose. Each letter. Okay? Each one of the 15. So that purpose is going to be addressed in the third part. Let's say he wants to, we need this particular person assess your contribution in the field. You've done an open source code that is being used in the industry. So that person is going to explain what this open source code is, what purpose it plays in the industry, who is using that code and why. And what kind of results the industry gets from this open source code, why it's significant. Okay, and here it could be a page, 2, 3, 10 pages, depending on the depth of analysis and understanding. Why? Because I want to make sure that immigration officer has to base his decision on the expert conclusion. Okay, because officer is just he has a legal education. He does know what open source code is. He does know how to apply it, what all these words are. So expert explains that to him as if he was a 6-year-old boy. Okay, so that's the purpose of it. And the last part is the conclusion. Why this person recommends to the US government's approval of this petition based on everything that was said before. All right, I think you guys loved it. I think you guys loved how I explained what recommendation letter is. Now you're completely prepared to do your recommendation letters. So let me see. Okay, guys, we have next Thursday and the following Thursday, we have the last 2 streams. Okay, so next one and the following Thursdays. After that, we're gonna have a long break, almost a month. We're gonna get back in like mid-end of January. We're gonna have a long vacation. You guys need to rest. My team and myself need to rest. So make sure you come the last 2 streams, this Thursday, the following Thursday, and one after that. If you have any more questions to finish this year strong. Okay, so make sure you fill out the EB2 NIW questionnaire. Let me drop you the link to the talent visas also for O1 and EB1A. There you go. And make sure you fill them out. I'll get back to you within 48 hours. And thank you for coming here. I'm Stanislav Shamaev, the lawyer of the future. Your future begins here. Good luck and have a good weekend.